as the Most High. Check that out. So they're going to have spiritual power and all of that, man. Okay? As the angel of the Lord before them. Wow. So they're going to be in a whole nother level, the house of David. That was the men that was back there with David. Okay? So that scripture right there lines up with the previous scripture I read before, which was 1 Corinthians 15 and 23. That was Zechariah 12th chapter, the 7th verse and the 8th verse. Proves there'll be levels in the kingdom. And finally, I'm going to bring out the scripture that even Menachzak mentioned in his lesson. Let me see if I remember it. Okay, bear with me for a minute. And that's only fair, you know. Everybody can't be on the same level, man. Now, every Israelite's going to be rich, and every Israelite's going to have slaves and be extremely wealthy, as I said, rich. But not every Israelite's going to be on the same level, even in the kingdom. Luke, the 19th chapter, and start the 15th verse. And it came to pass, as you clearly see, these words were written in red, so these are the words of Yahushua. And it came to pass that when he was returned, having received the kingdom, then he commanded these servants to be called unto him, to whom he had given the money, that he might know the money. The money is a metaphor for this knowledge, this truth. This knowledge, this truth is money. Okay, so if you have a great abundance of the knowledge and understanding of this truth, that means you have a lot of money. You're very rich spiritually. You're very rich. You have a lot of money. Okay. To whom he had given the money, which is this knowledge, that he might know how much each man had gained by trading. So we're supposed to take this money and trade it, meaning we're supposed to take this knowledge and go out there and give it to the Lord's people. Okay, and those that listen and adhere to it, that means they're members of the elect. Okay. Then came the first, saying, Lord, thy pound, which is a measurement of money, have gained 10 pounds. So this guy was on a high level, this individual right here. He wasn't on the same level as the next guy I'm going to read, all right? Which shows you right there, you have different levels. You have different levels of faith. You got brothers with different levels of knowledge. You know, some men would just call in to be helps. You know, the scriptures speak about that. All right, matter of fact, let's get that, because that exemplifies levels. Okay? It is right here. These are the words of the Apostle Paul to the Israelites in Corinth, right? He said, 1 Corinthians 12 and 27, now you are the body of Yahushua and members in particular. Now let's see if these members are all on the same level. And Yahweh have set forth, Yahweh did this, right? Have set forth some in the church, that's the whole gathering, right? First, apostles, which means sent away. Secondarily, prophets. Thirdly, teachers. So these are different levels. Not everyone's an apostle. Not everyone's a prophet. Not everyone's a teacher. Okay? First, apostles. Secondarily, prophets. Thirdly, teachers. After that, miracles. So there'll be brothers set up to perform miracles. Then gifts of healing. There'll be brothers set up to heal other brothers. Helps. You got guys that are set up just to help the ministry. All right? The help doesn't necessarily mean this guy is a teacher or even a prophet or even an apostle. This scripture right there shows you that there's different levels in this thing of ours, man. Right there. How you get around this? Let's read it again. And the Most High have set some in the church, first apostles, secondarily prophets, thirdly teachers, after that miracles, then gifts of healing, helps, governments, diversities of tongues. You got brothers who can speak multiple amount of tongues. They're called a polyglot, by the way. You got videos of certain individuals that are polyglots, can speak many languages, which I personally, I find that, to be a good, what's the word I'm looking for? A good practice to be able to speak many languages. Now, you know, when the spiritual power comes, we'll be able to do that like that, speaking other languages. There's an example of that in the New Testament, where the apostles were able to speak other languages like that by the spiritual power. So that's coming, you know. But right now we got brothers who can speak multiple languages. So there you go, diversities of tongues. Then Apostle Paul goes on to say, are all apostles? What's the answer to that? No. All are not apostles. Are all prophets? What's the answer to that? No. So there's different levels. Are all teachers? The answer is no. You may have a guy that's an apostle, and he might not be a teacher. He might just be an apostle. You know? Then you have a guy who's a prophet, but he might not be a teacher. He might be just a prophet. He just have a prophetic spirit, you know? Look, you're seeing it. Everyone has different levels, different spirits in this thing of ours. And thank goodness for that. Imagine if all of us were the same. What a boring nation we would be. Imagine if every guy was the same, you know, had the same spirit. You know, when I first came into Israel, you had certain individuals trying to make everybody the same, like we're clones or something, you know? No, everyone has their own spirit. Everyone has their own idiosyncrasy. Look that word up, okay? I know it's a big word. I'm familiar with the word. Look it up, okay? So you can expand your vocabulary. You can you can come on another level, all right? Nothing wrong with that. Okay, I always say this, our stock and trade in this thing of ours is words. So learn your words. You know, don't be intimidated by words. Learn them. You might get to like it. Anyway, are all apostles, are all prophets, are all teachers, are all workers of miracles? There you go. Now you have certain guys who have everything. We can't forget those dudes. They got everything. They got the whole shebang-a-lang, all right? They're prophets, they're teachers, they're apostles, they're workers of miracles. Oh yeah, you got dudes like that. They're on a whole nother level, okay? Have all the gifts of healing, do all speak with tongues, there you go. Do all interpret, but covet earnestly the best gifts. And yet show I unto you a more excellent way. And what was that? He was going to go into prophecy. The highest gift, the highest level in this thing of ours is prophecy, the ability to prophesy. That's the greatest level. Okay, but not all are prophets. Okay, there you go. So basically, back in Luke 19, let's keep reading. So you had this dude who received 10 pounds. He was on a whole nother level. Then you had this guy here, 17 verse. And he said unto him, well, thou good servant, because thou hast been faithful in the very little, have thou authority over 10 cities. So he's gonna get, we're gonna get a reward that is on a greater level than the next individual. Let's find out about the next individual. And the second came, saying, Lord, thy pound hath gained 5 pounds. So he's not on a level like the first guy, but he's still on a good level, 5 pounds. Come on. And he said likewise to him, be thou also over 5 cities. And another came. Now this guy here is on a super low level. And another came, saying, Lord, behold, here's thy pound. He didn't even do nothing with the knowledge. We got plenty of dudes that fit that verse right there. Okay. And another came, saying, Lord, behold, here's thy pound, which I have kept laid up in the napkin. Meaning he didn't do anything with it. He sat on the talent that was given unto him. He sat on the knowledge that was given unto him. He didn't share the knowledge. He didn't do anything. For I feared thee, because thou art an austere man. And by the way, that's the scripture that proves Yahushua is an austere man. Thou takest up that thou layest not down, and reapest that thou didst not sow. And he said unto him, out of thine own mouth will I judge thee, thou wicked servant. Thou knewest that I was an austere man. So, taken up that I laid not down, and reaping that I did not sow. Wherefore then gavest not thou my money into the bank? What does that mean? That's a metaphor. Why didn't you take the knowledge I gave you and go out there and teach it and brought in other fruit? Why didn't you do that? That's what that means. my coming, I might have required mine own with usury. What is the usury? That's other brothers being brought in, bringing in other fruit. Okay? And he said unto them that stood by, take from him the pound and give it to him that hath 10 pounds. So, wow. So that guy was on a very, very low level. And that's what you got in this thing about. You got guys that are on levels, different levels. So it's going to be the same way in the kingdom. Okay? All right, so with that, I'm going to leave it there. Hopefully you're edified. Next video.